Hello and welcome to Lunch and Learn. We're so glad that you've chosen to spend a little bit of your day with us. And we're excited about this new thing we're launching, this idea of the core contributes. This is one small way that we can give back to all of you who have made our lives so much richer, whether we've been in your schools, we've worked with you online, you've shared ideas or contributed blogs or anything else. We just want to say thank you. I'm Isaac Wells and I work for the Core Collaborative. And today I wanted to start us off with some moments of mindfulness. Many of us are dealing with things that we really haven't dealt with before. A lot of us are trying virtual learning opportunities for the first time. Many of us are concerned about friends and family who are sick or who we're worried they may fall ill. And these are just uncertain times in some ways. So I think it's especially important that we take a minute and give ourselves a chance to refresh and revitalize and be in the moment. I'm pulling the ideas I'm sharing today from one of my favorite books, a book called Touching Peace by Thich Nhat Hanh. This book I've had for over 20 years. And even after pulling out a lot of the markers, there's still about 12 or 15 I just couldn't let go of. But a page that I've had marked since the late 90s is titled "We Are All Flowers," which may sound a little silly, but it contains these meditations on ways that we can help ourselves to grow and to thrive. And so as we dig into this, this is for ourselves, but it's also something we can share with children of any age, with our colleagues, with our students at home, with our family members. If you've never done mindful meditation, I just want to be clear that meditation does not have to be a religious experience. This can be very secular, or for many people, it is related to their religion. For me, it's just a way to be aware of where I am kind of in space and time and how I'm feeling, so I can be uh, better adapted to whatever experience I'm in. And very often this begins with awareness of our breath. Now that can be pretty easy to make fun of. It seems a little silly to pay attention to your breath. But the reason we do it is because it's something that we take for granted. We breathe all day and all night, rarely thinking about it. And because you can't have a picture of breath, here's a picture of its impact, blowing this dandelion away. Uh, and if you've never meditated before and your image of meditation is the ability, almost like a Jedi, to become one with the Force or something like that, it's not that intense. It really is the formative process in practice. As we meditate, we attempt, we fail, and we restart, or we begin again. And we just repeat that over and over. We attempt to become focused, we attempt to become aware of something such as our breath, and then we're distracted. Maybe I hear my wife teaching in the other room or my daughter wanting to play. Then I just reset and I focus again. So this first meditation was very powerful for me. I'm someone who needed something to think while I did this, because that helped me keep other thoughts at bay or helped me to just let those thoughts slide through. So when I'm breathing in and breathing out, I kind of say these things in my head to myself. Breathing in, I know I am breathing in. Or maybe breathing in, I'm aware I'm breathing in. And then breathing out, I know I'm breathing out. Now, when we say these, we're not yelling these to ourselves. It's not with force. It's just kind of a calm thought. So if you try it a few times, just thinking that while you breathe in and then out. Even after just a couple of breaths, I find myself a little bit more aware of where I am in my body, how I'm feeling. Some people say you may want to focus on where do you feel the breath the most. Do you feel it in your chest? Do you feel it in your diaphragm? Do you feel it in your nose or your mouth? Whatever you're aware of it. Are you aware of the sound? You could focus in on that. But I like to have that thought in my head, breathing in, I know I'm breathing in. You can do that for a few moments, for a few minutes, much longer, depending on how you want to get going with this practice. I prefer this to be preventative. I do it before I engage in something because I know myself. I know that I'm always thinking of 100 or 1,000 things, and that if I want to give my best to the person or people I'm working with or to the task at hand, I need to be there. Now, over time, this may become simplified, and you may just think in, out. And in my head, it's kind of an in, out. So you may experiment with that, and it just becomes this thing you come back to. Some people use this when they get upset. Like I said, I like to use it before I start something. Oops. This next can be a little silly because it's this idea of being a flower, and I'll jump back to those words. So it's the same format, but now breathing in, I see myself as a flower. Breathing out, I feel fresh. And this is to kind of understand that essence of what a flower is. It's spring now, things are blooming, the bees and the butterflies are excited, and so are we. I find for myself, partly because it's a bit silly to think of yourself as a flower, and sometimes I get a little self conscious about it, I'll often smile. But instead of trying to push that side to the smile, I really lean into it. And there's research that neurologically, when we choose to smile and we let ourselves smile, it has the same impact as many of those situations that make us smile. So when I'm breathing out and I start to have that smile, when I think of fresh, I feel that lightness of a smile that you have when something kind of tickles you. I feel that warmth that you have when that smile's been contagious. Someone smiled to you and now you have their smile. And I usually find that after just 5 or 6 of those breaths and letting myself smile as I exhale and I'm thinking to myself, breathing out, I feel fresh. Or I'm thinking a shortened version of that, just flower, fresh, that I do feel renewed. And I'll use this one sometimes when I am feeling stress or I sometimes have anxiety or when I'm frustrated. I'm very slow to anger, I'm patient, but I have this wonderful 3-year-old who does not understand that mom and dad are home with her, but we're working full-time jobs. And so in the last few weeks, I've found myself getting more frustrated with her, not because of her, but because of my frustration with my ability to balance things. And even just in a moment, sometimes just one breath of thinking, flower, fresh, gives me just enough of a reset to be able to handle the situation that's happening instead of reacting to these feelings that are overwhelming me. So, with these two ideas, just consciousness of that breath, that in and out, and consciousness of this idea of being a flower and letting yourself be fresh, I hope these may add something to your practice. They're fun visualizations that you can share with students. You can grab pictures like these of your own, and we hope that you get something out of this. The goal of uh, the core contributes is just to add value to your lives and appreciation for all the value you've added to ours. Please share thoughts, questions, and feedback with us. Here's ways you can connect, and you can email me directly at isaac@thecorecollaborative.com. Until next time, thank you so much.